Here we are, continuing into October. I thought we could just start by reacquainting ourselves with our red Admiral Butterflies, resident butterflies, who I leave a lot of nettles for in the garden for them to lay their eggs on and the caterpillars to feed on. And it's lovely to see them enjoying the last nectar of those Aster Alma Potschke. Now you may remember we saw this tree with its drooping chamois leather kind of leaves that looked half dead. Well, obviously it isn't dead, it's thriving. And what's more, it's absolutely flowering its heart out at the moment. Coming up behind Bertie. Always love to see these crocuses appearing. They started off as just a few bulbs several years ago, and now they are spreading extremely well. And they're very jolly to see in October. This is Crocus Speciosus, and it's well known as being A, easy to grow, and B, spreads nicely and naturalizes in the grass. Crocus Speciosus, Speciosus meaning beautiful or sort of showy, and it certainly is. Coming around by the weeping sophora, you can see this very tall now Euonymus fellow Manus from China. It's really been fruiting extremely well this year, and admittedly is now beginning to go over its best, really. There's been an awful lot of publicity in the gardening programs about this, well, supposed shrub, but really a tree, multi-stemmed tree. I think because it's rather late flowering, flowers from the end of December, end of September and into October. It's got scented white flowers, which makes it quite a valuable addition to a large garden. I've done an awful lot of slaughtering over the years with this to try and keep it under control. This rejoices in the name Heptacodium myconioides. It used to be Heptacodium jasminoides, which sort of implies the fragrance of the flowers. Well, we'll leave the Heptacodium and just take a tranquil walk towards the obelisk to the accompaniment of our resident robin. Let's go to the autumn bulbs, presided over by the rather grumpy man at the edge of the urn. Here is a stalwart of the autumn border, the autumn flowering Nerine or Nerine. Common, but I think lovely. Here's an old stand which is just coming out now, which rises out of periwinkle, as if by magic. This is Nerine bowdenii, common but no less beautiful. However, there have been hybrids between that and amaryllis with a bigger flower. So let me show you one. Well, here is the hybrid, Amarine, with the Bella Diva series, they're called. A much more substantial flower, as you can see. Very attractive. Coming around the back of the alpine beds, we come across this Grevillea Victoriae, which has been in bud for quite a while, but is now finally opening its rather intriguing flowers. It really is quite a hardy Grevillea, and I think these flowers, orangey red, contrast beautifully with the sort of greyish foliage. An excellent shrub from Australia, named after Queen Victoria. The genus Grevillea, from the Proteaceae family, was named after Charles Greville, who was one of the founder members of the Royal Horticultural Society in 1804. He introduced several plants, and he was a geologist and polymath, really. And his friend named this genus after him. This rather majestic bunch of bananas here, I mean the plants, and one of them is mature enough to start fruiting and flowering. I'm always intrigued because the flower extends, and you can see inside it, and then behind it, as it extends outwards, bananas form in rows. Intriguing. Unfortunately, not only intriguing, but inedible. The drawback is that these mature bananas, when they flower and fruit, die. But there are many more suckers coming up to take their place, as you can see. If I can get a word in edgeways of the birds. I want to show you this black-stemmed hydrangea. It's from the Black Steel series with their black stems. This one has white flowers. But the intriguing thing about these white flowers is that I didn't realize, but if you turn it over, you've got this amazing network of red stems. Fabulous, isn't it? Coming up the steps. It's quite a nice combination, which I like, and that's this Mahonia soft caress. Yes, it is soft, I suppose, with an aster here. And I think the two go together rather well. Now, just in case you're under the misapprehension that in North Devon the sun always shines, I'm afraid it doesn't. Today it's been raining away, which is what gives us our lush growth with the somewhat warmer climate. Anyway, I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you the Miscanthus that we saw last time, Cosmopolitan, a wonderful grass which is now in full flower. And thanks to the rain, it's got lovely droplets of water on it as well. In the time of the redoubtable Miss Jekyll, this was known as Eulalia sinensis, a lovely name. And it was named after a French botanical artist and painter called Eulalie de Lille. Marvellous, isn't it? At the beginning of the 19th century. But anyway, it was transferred to Miscanthus, which doesn't really sound nearly so romantic. Coming up the autumn border, past the wonderful small pampas grass, just want to show you the flowering on our wild Mexican Dahlia, collected by a friend, grown from seed, now standing at about 8 feet tall, and it really has the most delightful orange flowers. This is Dahlia Coccinear, Coccinear meaning scarlet or red, an appropriate name for this dahlia.